Hey everyone, this is Buffy. I am coming to you live as part of my mini series called the Nap Time series. And see, I told you it was live. Sorry, my little tripod. I am doing this video in collaboration with Edge Yoga School as a part of my 300-hour yoga teacher training. We all bring content to the table and share on various topics in the yoga world. I think that should be good. This is the second part of an 8-part series on the chakras. So we are using this book, Wheels of Life, Adonea Judith, and the first video was just an introduction to the chakra system, and today we will be diving into the root chakra. So let's get started. If you want to know more about me, you can check out my very first video in this series, the introduction, and then there's also a video on all the topics I'll be bringing to the table. So if you want to browse those and kind of pick out which ones you want to tune into, every episode is going to have the title. We'll tell you what I'll be talking about. So that way you can see what I'll be sharing and if you want to watch it as part of your 300-hour or 200-hour teacher training. So I hope to be helpful to you. And yeah, we're learning side by side. I am by no means an expert on this. It's very mysterious to me, and I am learning right here with you about these chakras. So this is chakra 1, earth. So chakra 1, roots, grounding, survival, body, the food we eat, matter, the beginning. Those are all just words associated with the first chakra. Again, that's the symbol. I shared this in the first video. There's that lotus symbol with 4 petals here in the root. We're going to start with a little opening meditation. So if you'd like to close your eyes, you can do so here or just listen. Let's take a deep breath. And exhale. You are about to go on a journey. It's a journey through the layers of your own self. It's a journey through your life, through the world within and around you. It begins here, in your own body. It begins now, wherever you are. It is your own personal quest. Make yourself comfortable, for the journey is not short. It could take months, years, or a lifetime. But you've already chosen to go. You began long, long ago. You have been provided a vehicle in which to take this journey. It's your body, and it's equipped with everything you might need. One of your challenges on this journey is to keep your vehicle nourished, happy, and in good repair. It's the only one you will be given. So, we begin our journey by exploring our vehicle. Take a moment to feel your body. Feel it breathing in and out. Feel your heart beating inside. The moisture in your mouth. The food in your belly. The sensation of cloth on your skin. Explore the space your body occupies. Height, width, weight. Find the front and the back, top, bottom, and sides. Begin a dialogue with your body so that you may learn its language. Ask your body how it feels. See if it's tired or tense. Listen to the answer. How does it feel about going on this journey? I'm going to skip a bit. The planet is a vehicle too. It takes us through time and through space. Feel the earth as a central unified entity, a living body just like you with an infinity of cells working together as a whole. You are a cell in this great body, part of Mother Earth, one of her children. I think that's incredible. We begin our journey here on this great body of Earth. Our long climb upward begins by going down. We go down into this body as we go down into our own bodies, into our flesh, into our guts, into our legs and feet, digging our roots deep into the earth, which support and nourish us. We move deep into her rocks and soil, deep into her guts of red-hot lava, seething deep below, and into her source of life and movement and power. When we sink deeply, we come to the base of our spine and find a red glowing ball of energy, glowing like the core of the earth. Feel this molten energy running down your legs, through your knees, into your feet. Feel it running through your feet, into the floor beneath you, through the floor and down into the earth, burrowing between rocks and roots, finding nourishment, support, and stability. Feel this cord of energy as an anchor, settling you, calming you, grounding you. You are here. You are connected. You are solid, but you are molten inside. Deep within your roots, you find your past, your memories, your primal self. Your connection here is simple, direct. You remember your heritage, your ancient self as a child of the earth. She is your teacher. And skipping down a bit. Let the feeling of abundance come up from the earth into your feet, your legs, your pelvis, stomach, heart, and hands. Feel its expression in your throat, its recognition in your vision, its imprint in your mind. Take a deep breath and let it go down again. Through your body, through your head, neck, shoulders, arms, chest, belly, legs, and feet, and down into the earth, down below the surface of the earth, finding stability, finding nourishment, finding peace. Your body is the journey, and it's where you begin. It is your connection to the physical world, your foundation, the home of your dance. You are the place from which all action and understanding will arise, and to which it will return. You are the testing ground of truth. You are the ground on which all things rest. You are the earth from which all things grow. You are here. You are solid. You are alive. You are the point from which all things begin. I think that is absolutely beautiful and very powerful. Again, reading from this book, and I will be sharing some of my notes from this chapter on Chakra 1. So, symbols and correspondences. The Sanskrit word for this chakra is Muladhara. Muladhara. The meaning is root support, and it's based at the perineum or base of the spine. The element it's associated with, can you guess? Earth. The functions are survival and grounding. The inner state associated with this chakra is stillness, security, and stability. If there is a malfunction with the first chakra, you might experience weight problems, hemorrhoids, constipation, sciatica, degenerative arthritis, or knee trouble. Chakra 1 is associated with the color red, and the seed sound is lam. Lam. Deepak Chopra has a really cool seed sound meditation. You should look it up. You go through all of the chakras and all of their seed sounds. So maybe we'll do that at the end after we explore each of the chakras. The vowel sound is O as in rope, and the corresponding verb is I have. And interesting fact, the food associated with it is proteins and meats. I love this graphic. It's the sciatic nerve, and it looks just like a root going from your glute down all the way from the hip into the earth. Look at that foot just in contact with the earth. So cool. We're going to talk about grounding a lot today. Okay. So we described the chakras as vortexes of energy in the body in our first video. And at the level of our first chakra, the vortex is the densest of all of the chakras. So chakra 1 has this kind of like density to it. And we can't really separate ourselves from it because we're made of it. We're made of earth. And we have a body, and without a body, or to deny the body is to die prematurely. So we can't really deny our body, just like we can't really deny our connection to the earth where we live, and the vital part that it plays in supporting our survival. So yeah, consciousness in the Muladhara, the first chakra, is mainly concerned with survival and with physical survival. So it's our instinctual fight or flight response, and if we don't balance this chakra before we go into the others, our growth won't have roots, it won't have a foundation. So when things like our survival are threatened, we experience fear, and fear is considered the demon of the first chakra. And I mean, that makes sense. If your sense of survival is threatened, you're going to be afraid. You know, a lot of people are experiencing fear right now in the world, just with the pandemic and isolation and different things going on. And a lot of people, their root chakra is really being toyed with right now. But facing our fear can help the first chakra wake up. So facing fear. All right, we're going to jump into grounding. Grounding is an exercise that I love to do. Just when I go hiking, I will hike barefoot. I love to ground down into the earth. I love to meditate barefoot with my feet in contact, or my root chakra in contact with the earth, just seated. So grounding is a dynamic contact with earth, with its edges, boundaries, and limitations. It allows us to become solidly real and present in the here and now, dynamically alive with the vitality that comes from the earth. Without grounding, we're unstable, we're flighty, we lose our center, we get swept off our feet. You might find yourself in daydreams a lot if you're not grounded. You just kind of are not all here. So if you struggle with flightiness, try grounding. It might help you. So through our roots, just to help this make sense more, that's where we gain nourishment and our power and our stability for growth. And when we're cut off from that, we lose our path. And sometimes we're just like so busy looking up or even looking forward that we just don't even know where our feet are meeting the path in front of us. When we're grounded, we are humble and we're close to the earth. Resting on the ground, we can't fall, and that provides a sense of inner security. It just feels good to be held by the earth. And if we lose touch with our ground, we lose touch with the intricate connection of all life. You know, you lose sight of the fact that you are connected to the earth, and that all things are connected and reliant upon the earth for survival. And then when we are disconnected, we start to see ourselves as separate from others, and power becomes an act of manipulation rather than connection. We lose touch with animals, with nature, and our instinctual power, our instinctual grace and peace. This makes so much sense to me, and I'm sure it does for you too. It's just like common sense. When we lose sight of our roots, we're just lost. So grounding is a way of coping with stress. It can bring clarity through stillness. It's almost like you're focusing a camera lens, and the object is to get two images to merge into one. So as our body becomes firmly connected, our astral body becomes connected with our physical body. So it's like you're merging those two, and everything just makes sense. Grounding forms a foundation. So, I think there's a grounding exercise at the end of this chapter we're going to do. But really just try standing barefoot in the yard for 10 minutes and see if it doesn't help you feel better. You could visualize energy from the earth coming up through the feet and resting in the root chakra. You could visualize that ball of hot red ball at the center of the earth. You could visualize your roots from your feet going through the water table and the layers of earth and rock. My friend Emily leads a really great guided meditation, and we let our roots come all the way down to that ball and wrap around it, and you just receive all this energy and then bring it back up your roots and into your being. It is really refreshing and does bring that sense of security and safeness, all of the things associated with the root chakra, groundedness. So give that a try on your own. I'm sure there's lots of meditations online too. Somebody in our group in the 300 hour, I think, just posted a article on the importance of squatting and how it's like a lost art in the West, and how squatting, it's, squatting is a huge yoga asana for the root chakra, and we just don't do it anymore. And we've lost our sense of connection with the earth and with living things. And not only have we lost those physical benefits of like activating the synovial fluid to flow more freely in our joints and keep them lubricated, but the other kind of benefits that you don't necessarily think of right off the bat, we're losing those too. So start squatting, people. Okay, moving into survival. So the first chakra, consciousness, is oriented towards survival. I already mentioned that. In order to consolidate our energy in the first chakra, we must first see that our survival needs are met in a healthy and direct way. So this is important. What are our survival needs? Food, water, shelter, love. Those are the basic ones, I think. If those aren't met, how are you possibly going to move on to up the chakras to meeting other needs, spiritual needs, or possibly how could you possibly hope to seek enlightenment if you can't even, like, if you don't know where your next meal is coming from, or, if you're hungry and you're in pain, or you're thirsty, or you don't have a roof over your head. So make sure first, before we even get into that, that your survival needs are met. Our primal roots, when our survival needs were not always met, because now in society, well, at least in the Western world, most people don't have to worry about, if they, well, I shouldn't say most people, but if you're doing a yoga teacher training, I'm sure that you have a roof over your head, and food and water. So we've kind of lost this our primal roots that are still there in our unconsciousness. And, we remember that we used to be hunted just like the animals that we ate. And what we lived on, we were a part of, and we knew that all the time because survival was like a full-time concern for us. Not so anymore, or it's more indirect now. If you live in a city, you may be worried the lights will get turned off if you don't pay this bill, or in traffic, we have fight or flight response, and it's different kind of indirect survival. So, someone who is perpetually plagued by health problems or financial crisis might be caught in their first level chakra. They may experience insecure or panicky feeling a lot. And it's important to understand consciousness at this root level is the right to be here. I think that's so profound. The right to be here. I love this next paragraph. I'm just going to ask you some questions and answer them for yourselves. What keeps you from wanting to be here? From whom do you need permission to take care of yourself? What is the fear of grounding, of becoming stable, of standing on your own 2 feet? Who is responsible for your survival? How much of your thinking is unrealistic, dreaming, not grounded in the world around you? How was your survival provided for in your childhood, by whom and at what cost? Are you connecting with your body, listening to it, administering to its needs? Do you have the right to be here, to take up space, to have what you need in order to survive? So those are some journaling prompt questions, if I've ever heard them, that really get into that survival aspect of this chakra 1. Okay, we're going to move on to the body. So the body is represented, it's like the whole body is our root chakra, if that makes sense. It's the, I got to go back because I got to say the right word. The body is the, well, hold on. One moment. Going back to this first chapter, and there was a table of contents for the chakras. It's not here either, but let's just jump into it. So here's a quote by Sahara Saraha Doha. Here in this body are the sacred rivers. Here are the sun and the moon, as well as all the pilgrimage places. I have not encountered another temple as blissful as my own body. So just as our homes are for our body is our home for our spirit. To understand the body, we have to be the body, embodiment. We have to be its pain, its pleasure, its fear, its joy. So the body and the first chakra, really, we're ultimately trying to understand and heal the body here. Part of that is eating. So the ingestion of solid matter, remember the first chakra is the most dense and solid of all of them. So the ingestion of solid matter into our bodies is a first chakra activity. It grounds us, nourishes us, and maintains our physical structure. So through the food that we intake, the fruits of the earth, that is also associated with the first chakra. Now, this is kind of a side note, but they go into foods in the chakras. So we're going to go through each of the chakras quickly with what food corresponds with them. So chakra 1 is meats and proteins. They're the foundations foods that keep the chakra happy. So it doesn't have to be meat. Now we have ways of understanding that we get protein from tofu, beans, nuts, eggs, dairy products if you eat those. You don't have to eat meat for the first chakra. I'm not saying that. Okay, chakra 2 is liquids. We need to have enough liquid to remain healthy, and we'll probably pass into these more as we get into each of the chakras. Chakra 3 is starches, like addiction to energy foods. Sugar addiction can point to a third chakra imbalance. Chakra 4 is vegetables. They're the product of photosynthesis and something that our body is incapable of producing. Chakra 5 is fruits. Fruits are the highest on the food chain. When they ripe, they drop to the ground and don't require the killing of the plant or animals to harvest them. So that's our throat chakra. And then the 6th and 7th are not associated with a food because, you don't need food at that point. They're not linked to any bodily processes, but more with like a mental state. Okay, coming back to chakra 1, matter. The material world may be nothing but illusion, but oh, what an exquisitely well-ordered illusion. And that's about all I'm going to say about matter, just going back to the idea that chakra 1 is the densest as far as matter goes. Everything is passing through it. Just want to make sure there's nothing else here that I had highlighted. All right, I think I'm going to stop there. Find a grounding meditation online. Oh, I do want to mention these yoga asanas, these postures. So for the first chakra, we've got bridge pose, knee to chest, half locust or full, and head to knee. Okay. There's some movement exercises in here, just standing, grounding into the earth. Elephant, where you're like in a forward fold, just letting your arms hang, or pushing the feet with legs up the wall. So if somebody comes to you and they're like, I'm feeling flighty, or I just can't, I am all over the place, I've been daydreaming, and they're in your yoga class, you can say, well, let's ground down today. And like I said, those squats are great, like a Hindi squat, malasana. Other things that are helpful for this first chakra: eating, sleeping, massage, resting, kicking, jogging, jumping up and down, or stomping. Okay, and again, I want to reference this book because that is where all of my knowledge on the topic's coming from. Wheels of Life. You can get it on Amazon. My name is Buffy, and this has been the Nap Time series, little video on Chakra 1 Earth, Muladhara. Namaste.